FerociousWraith.
Ever since MultiVersus was shut down last year, I felt a very big void in my life. I was very excited with the prospect of all these Warner Brothers characters mixing up, all these video game characters fighting all these movie characters, these TV show characters. It was just this really just incredible concept that when you look past all the dumb decisions that were made in the development of this game, you really realize that this was a genius idea, and the fact that it failed is just honestly depressing. Out of all the live service games that I've ever seen fail, MultiVersus is easily the worst. Easily the most disappointing, because we basically had our answer to a Smash Brothers that could be on everything. Now, there are other platform fighters that do compete with Smash on these platforms, but I feel like MultiVersus was really this proper mainstream one. You had like Nick All-Stars, and you also had like Rivals of Ether, but I feel like MultiVersus was the one that really could appeal to like so many different people. And seeing it fail just makes me think, hey, maybe someone else should give it a try, or maybe they should just do the same concept, but maybe with something like Disney, you know? Because I think MultiVersus had the right idea, and I think that if somebody were to basically take their concept, but do it better in a way that wouldn't charge you for every character, or ask for all your time in order to unlock all the characters. Just look at Marvel Rivals, for example. Marvel Rivals lets you play as every single Marvel character that they add, and you don't have to pay a dime. They just charge you for cosmetics. That's where I think MultiVersus failed spectacularly. And to think that a fighting game that would get constantly updated was very exciting. Because if you look at the likes of NetherRealm games and the Capcom games like Street Fighter and stuff, see, they always stop after a couple battle passes, if you will. Not battle passes, but a couple of season passes. You get a couple of them, you get like maybe 5 characters per pack, and then that's it. The game's done, dusted after like 2 years, and you move on. So when you look at MultiVersus as a concept that was supposed to keep going and keep giving us every single character you could imagine, seeing that die before the likes of Mortal Kombat 1 or Street Fighter in their processes is absolutely insane to me. It just doesn't seem right. And I think if you would have someone like Disney do this, but better, then we could be looking at the absolutely the best possible fighting game experience. I want to take you into my mind for a bit. See, I've played a lot of fighting games in my time. I've not considered myself the most competitive player in existence, but there's just something really fun about fighting as your favorite heroes or villains or whatever, and fighting your friends or friend if it's just a 2-player experience. So when I look at MultiVersus, it kind of gave me the idea that, hey, maybe I can get some of my favorite Warner Brothers characters, but I wouldn't be limited to just 1v1. You know, I could have something as cool as Tag Team, which I think was a really great concept in MultiVersus, where you could take your friend and fight a bunch of people online, or you even, of course, have just the Fatal 4-Way type stuff. 4 people, you just gather a group of friends and just beat each other up for a while. I think that's something that just you don't see enough of. I feel like fighting games are usually, like when you take a group of friends, say I have a group of friends that plays these NetherRealm games together, usually you have to have 2 people fight, and then the rest of the people just sit there and just can't really do anything. And that's just kind of where it just feels unfortunate that the real best way to experience the type of thing I want is on a Switch. Because Smash Brothers is also one of my favorite fighting games of all time, but not everybody can get a Switch. Not everybody has enough for, every single platform in existence. And MultiVersus had this potential to just be like the game for us to play with everybody in my group liking fighting games. But because it failed, I ended up just having to go back to MKX, Injustice 2, God forbid MK1. I don't really like that one. It just makes me think, man, why can't there be more platform fighters trying to be like Smash? I just think it's just money waiting to be made. So I wanted to basically take the rest of this video and tell you that I think a Disney platform fighter would absolutely go crazy. Have you ever thought of the idea of Disney doing a platform fighter with the likes of Star Wars, Marvel, the Disney princesses, Pixar characters, you name it? That would just be something that I could just see going crazy. But MultiVersus failing just needs to be a lesson. It doesn't need to be something that just turns people off the idea completely. I think platform fighters are some of the most accessible fighting games ever made, and I think there needs to be more of this. I just find it so unfortunate that I have to resort to Smash because there's really nothing that is compared to it. So here's to hoping that either MultiVersus gets picked back up in some form, because I know people were hoping it would like come to Fortnite or whatever, but it never really did. So I've just been sitting here like, man, the only way I can just experience a fighting game is just good old NetherRealm. And let's be real. NetherRealm's been kinda on the fritz. They haven't really been handling their games well, and it's just been really unfortunate for my current situation. See, my friends love fighting games. They've basically turned me into a much more competitive fighting game player. I used to always play these things very casually. So, you know, it would be nice to kind of bring them to where I was kind of good, which was on Smash Brothers. But because there isn't a MultiVersus to play, then there isn't a lot. There just isn't a lot. I hate that Nickelodeon is like the only way you could possibly have anything to answer for when it comes to like, say, Smash or Mario Kart, because they got their own little versions of that. So what I'm hoping is eventually we do get our answer to the lack of MultiVersus someday. So yeah, I just wanted to do a little rant here about what I'm missing, and just wanted to see what you guys think about this as well, because I don't know about you, but I just haven't gotten over the loss of it. And I hope that someday we get our justice, because that game was genuinely fun. Like, you have to admit, there was something really fun about it. It was pretty simple. Like, at its core, it was a very simplified version of Smash, but it was honestly not that bad. It was just, they just decided to change it from the beta, and yeah, like I've already gone over all the reasons why MultiVersus failed, but you know, even playing it right now, like when I played the offline version recently again just to reminisce, and it was just cool, man. Like, you know, 1 minute you just go from like Harley Quinn to fucking LeBron James, Tom and Jerry. Like, dude, I swear nothing has ever been as upsetting as that game dying to me. I had so much fun with it. It was one of those games that I could have just sat there and streamed all day. So then you saw I kind of just gravitated towards like the M. Dickey titles or the Dead by Daylight recently. I really wanted to make something out of MultiVersus. So yeah, that's about all I gotta say, and sound off in the comments below what you think would make a good platform fighter, because I think there's a lot of potential in that genre. I just hate that it's all limited towards Smash. Like, why is Smash the end-all be-all? Why can't we have stuff like Disney? Why can't we have stuff like horror slasher platform fighters, or more video game platform fighters? Like, you had like PlayStation All-Stars or whatever. That was kind of cool. You know, Xbox could do a little something, even though there's not enough mascots there. But you know what I mean? Like, why is this something that just feels so monopolized? And since we haven't had a Smash Bros. In forever, I'll just also add this little tidbit. I really hope we get a new Smash, because that is the thing that will get me to buy a Switch 2. I will not buy a Switch 2. I refuse until they make a new Smash Brothers. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna also make a push towards making more videos here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, my fellow fiends.